Here we go. Now we're rolling, John. Happy Monday. We got a Monday episode, business nerds, coming at you Monday with John Rossiter from Zolato.ai. Home service CRM, free home service CRM. We'll get to that. John's over there drinking aloe water. We're doing this one like early afternoon on a Monday for me. He's in Wales. What time is it there? Is it 8, 9 o'clock for you?
Yeah, it just got 8 p.m. So yeah, prime evening.
As
Prime
they say,
evening.
it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So
It's
I'm
5 o'clock somewhere.
I don't. You said you got a demo after this. I don't.
Yeah, so
I just got to go
I,
bait. I got to go bait some bears for bear hunting. So that's all I got to do.
there we go. Nice and chill, man. Yeah, I mean, as I was saying, dude, my go-to is beer-wise, Corona, and then spirit-wise, I mean, you can't beat Jack Daniels. So
It's a classic.
um, it is an absolute class. Apparently, it's bigger over where you guys are at, right?
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's a lot bigger.
Do you run into like the Irish whiskeys since you're in Wales? Is that like common, or do you have is it Welsh whiskeys?
Yeah, so we've got a famous Welsh whiskey called Penderyn. I
Okay.
tried it.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. And then we've got I forget the name of it now. It escapes me, but there's some really nice Irish. I think is it single malt whiskey? I think it's single malt something.
As long as you say it
Yeah,
confidently, I'll agree because I'm not the whiskiest of whiskey connoisseurs.
yeah, no, we've got some good whiskeys over here, man. It's Scottish, Irish, and Welsh. They're the go-tos for sure.
What's your favorite Welsh beer? What do you like? You guys got some beers over there. What do you tap into if you're getting a local brew?
Local brew? Oh man. So we don't really. I mean, in my mind, we don't really have like a traditional Welsh beer. At least not what I drink, anyway. I mean, in the town that I'm in, Wrexham, we have a beer called Wrexham Lager, and it used to be really nice, but now it just tastes very much. And it's quite bitter. So yeah, man, we just
Do you think
stick to the normal stuff.
does it taste different because your palate is more refined, or does it taste different because they
Oh,
started making it cheaper?
man, it could be both. It could be both. We stick to like San Miguel right now, and Peroni and stuff like that. So yeah, Wrexham Lagers, it's a good cheap alternative. It's not as cheap as your Fosters.
Yeah.
Fosters are a good cheap and cheerful option, but yeah,
You
Wrexham
guys get a
Lagers.
lot of you guys have and it's been so long since I've been into the UK, but I was over there in like 2005. Studied a semester in England. Which, and I think I told you this last time when you and I were chatting, I had a beer in Wales. I don't know if it's a Welsh beer, but it's like ingrained in my mind that I could never find it anywhere else, but it's called Brains. And it was like a darker, I can't say it was a stout. It wasn't like as deep as Guinness was. Producer man Jai's in the house said, "Is it Wednesday already? Isn't it? What day is it anyway? Was it Wednesday? No, Jai, I'm doing 4 shows this week because I'm traveling like the next 3 weeks. I don't know. I don't know if anybody's ever gonna see me again. I'm stacking them up, and my man John said, "Let's do it." So here we go. I don't even know if they make Brains anymore. I liked it so much. I asked the bar because you guys in the UK always have like mugs that are specific to the beer that you order. Like if you order a Foster's, you get a Foster's in a Foster's mug. That's like unique to you guys. We do not do that in the US. You just get like a generic glass here. There's not
Really?
Yeah, there are no labeled glasses. When I came back from a semester, I think I had 13 different beer mugs because eventually I was like, oh, that's a sweet beer. Hey, can I have one of those mugs? And like every bar would give me a mug. It was super cool. So I came back home. All my clothes were packed in them because I didn't want them to break. I didn't break one on the way home. I don't know how, but
That's impressive, man. No, like it's actually so to answer your question, do they still make Brains? Yes. And I think I just did a quick Google search there, and apparently it's originated in South Wales, so it's from Cardiff originally. But man, like again, I don't know how long you were down, how often you visited, but what a lot of people inside pubs do especially in Wales, um, is sometimes if you're with your woman or whatever, she's got a little bag. And sometimes these guys pop it in the bag, so you get home and you've got like your own little stash of Fosters and Carlsberg and Carling
Yep.
glasses. It's
I
like you've
did
got your own pub.
I think I'm past the statute of limitations, but I did nick a couple, and then my like just the integrity got the best of me, and I like apologized and tried to return them, and they're like, no, you can keep them. And then I was like, well, I'm just gonna do what any normal person would do. I'm just gonna ask, right? And
Fair
that was
play.
way easier. And I didn't have to feel bad about it. And no, like if I asked for one, they were always like, hell yeah, like here you go. So I got my brains. I still have it. I still have my brains glass. Have you ever had it before?
I've never tried, man. You've kind of jogged a long-term memory just by saying braids. No pun intended. But well, I've heard of it maybe a few times, and I completely forgot about it. So
Gotcha.
I've never tried it.
It tastes like the best thing I can come up with is it tastes like a loaf of bread. It's just like rich, but it's
It's so
not it's not as bitter as like a stout would be. It's just different. I've never had another beer like it, and I can like taste it till this day. I'm gonna make a trip back just to taste some of that. And I don't know if I told you this the other day when we were chatting. My buddy JC Chanowski travels the world. Like him and Angela, I think, are in Mexico right now. I was in the Philippines with them. That all of our bookkeepers are through their team at Unique Genius, and so we went over for like their annual summit. I was in the Philippines with my 14 people that are on my team through them. But JC posted a question Facebook post like, "Hey, what's your sleeper like place that you would go visit in the world?" And I was like, Wales immediately. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. Everybody was awesome. Like it's a sleeper.
It really is. It really, really is. I think that when people think of the UK, instantly people think London,
Mhm.
England. But man, there is some really nice pockets in Wales. Like especially if you're a fan of like really great scenery, landscape, big mountains, hills, hiking, things like that, man. You're right. It is completely slept on for sure. For sure.
I've spent some time in London, not a fan, but it's like I don't like New York, I don't like LA, I don't like Shanghai. I've been to a lot of big cities, not a big city guy. Like I want to be out in the country going like seeing some cool like non-man-made stuff. Ireland was cool too. We did like the Ring of Kerry and down to Cork and that sort of thing. Like that was beautiful country. But Wales, if we were like driving through Wales and there's just mountains with waterfalls everywhere. I thought I was in a freaking movie. It was bonkers.
That's, again, that's so true. And you know what? It's one of these things. Like we traveled. We do some traveling over the weekend through Wales and up into England. And now that you mention it, there was a lot of greenery each side, but there was waterfalls here, waterfalls there, and it's something that we take for granted. And it's like, oh, and you carry on with your conversation, or you're on your phone, or whatever it is, or you're jamming in the back to some music.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. They're absolutely everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. And with London, man, like I'm the same. I'm a huge rave scene guy. I go to a lot of drum and bass events. I go to a lot of festivals. And everything seems to happen in London. So I'm up and down there, feels like every month. But I'm exactly the same, man. Like I'm not like claustrophobic, and I enjoy being around people. It gives me energy.
Yeah.
And but man, when you're on like the underground and you're stuck in between people and you're sardined in on the tube, oh, it's nothing worse. And when you're trying to move around, like you were genuinely quicker walking in London than you are driving.
I,
It's
I still have nightmares. I wake up and it's like mind the gop. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Mind the gap. Yeah, that's it. That's
Mind
it.
the gap.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Anyway.
man.
Yeah, John, how the hell did you wind up owning a business in the US? You've got a wash and exterior cleaning business in Iowa. How the like give us a little background on how you got into home services, how you got into the technology side of it too, but give us a little like jog down memory lane of like how the hell did you get here in the first place?
Yeah, man. I mean, so do you want the long answer or the
Oh
short
yeah,
answer?
this is
You want the
happy
long
hour,
answer?
man. Yeah, this
All
is
right,
happy
man.
hour. We
Yeah,
tell
we got
stories.
time.
Long answer here.
All right. Once upon a time. So long story short, man, is as much as I can to kind of be efficient here, is when I was 17, I started to get into, it's when Instagram kind of came out, a few years before that. but Snapchat was relatively new, and I started to pay a lot more attention to social media. And I thought to myself, I really not just enjoy being on it, but I want to learn about it as well. Anyway, one thing led to the next. I was that kid in school who, sold drinks, who sold you sweets, different chewing gums
Yeah,
and chocolate and crisps. I was
I
that
was
guy.
entrepreneuring it up. Yeah.
I was bringing a big rucksack to school. I was pouring it out, sold out, before lunchtime. And then I realized as time went on, that was the catalyst probably for the entrepreneurial seed. That's when I really began nurturing it. And so when I got to 17 years old, again, I was looking at my phone and I was thinking, how can I pair this with a strong interest of mine, which at the time was business and of course still is. And so I kind of dabbled around. I went to college 3 times, backed out 3 times. And I was a good student, man. Like I wasn't someone who was turning up and messing around and I think maybe like my first year I was, but second year, third year, I was like top of the class. Um, and I ended up backing out because it taught me how to, and nothing against it, but for me personally, and this is always a bit of a gray area with entrepreneurship, it's you don't want to step over the line. But for me personally, it taught me how to be a cog in someone else's machine.
Yep.
And so I was like, well, I don't want to do this. I don't want to identify myself with being someone's thing. So I backed out and I literally took a pen and paper and I was like, what can I do to at least start exercising this muscle? I then came across Ty Lopez, I came across Grant Cardone, and I was thinking, great, I've got an idea. So the idea was printed out flyers and trying to wash people's cars. And I literally had a bucket.
Yeah.
Right, detail. So I literally had a sponge. I borrowed some of my dad's cleaning stuff. And I had a bucket, and I just started handing around flyers at people's doors and left it on car windshields. I've got a few little jobs here and there. And again, this is all nurturing the seed of entrepreneurship. I thought, I've made this money on my own. And then it starts to talk, teaching me about the skill of resourcefulness, getting my dad's stuff, getting a bucket, getting a little sponge and making something of it. And then I realized, you know what? College isn't for me. University isn't for me. I'm not academic in the slightest. Like I left school with some of the poorest results probably that school has ever seen. Um, and I just kind of got into it. I fell into a role of remote appointment setting for a company called Remote Fit Pro back in the day. Greatest company I've genuinely ever been part of. Not just because of the opportunity itself, but because what I've learned from high leverage, high connected people, as you know yourself, right? Like we think different, and just getting around those people as much as you can, like specifically mindset, it just went from the floor to the sky pretty much. And so I learned so much there. And I didn't really have a skill set to get myself that job. I used just pure passion and conviction. And can you cuss on this? Can I swear on this?
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's
All
the
right, all
bar.
right.
We're in the bar, man.
It's the bar. All right, cool. So I remember I had to go through 5 different interviews. One with the specialist, one with the coordinator, one with the sales advisor, then the co-founder, and then the big dog, which in my eyes was James Moody. And he had this like ginger hair, big ginger beard, built like a brick. And I joined the Zoom meeting and I was like shaking in my boots.
Yeah.
I was like, this is crazy. How have I ended up here? And this is the company I'd looked up to for the longest of time. Like I hustled my way into this opportunity, had no skills. I just needed him to give me an opportunity and I'd go to war for him. So he was sitting with this, a black blank wall like this with just Remote Fit Pro or Remote Revolution or whatever was on it. And he was in the darkness and just had this face lit up dimly. And I was like, hey, James, how's it going, man? Like really energetic. And he goes, hey man, how's it going? And I instant energetic mismatch. I completely misread the room. And it was the most intimidating, most pressurizing interview for anything I've ever had in my life. To a point where it was just a whole emotion of things. It was the pressure, but it was also the questioning like the questions that he asked me was not like a typical interview. He was like, what wakes you up in the morning? Why is this important? Like pretty much like a sales approach, closing me on
Yeah.
trying to get me to close myself into the opportunity. So I ended up shedding a few tears, and he goes, "Hey John, can I be honest with you for a second?" And I went, "Sure." I'm still shaking in my boots. I'm like, "Sure, man, yeah." And he looked straight into the camera lens, and he goes, "Tell Natasha, your partner, that life's going to change forever. Welcome aboard." And I was like, my whole face just went boom, and I just couldn't stop crying. And I was in my best friend's apartment at the time, and James was smiling, and he said to me, he goes, "Hey man, do you know why I grilled you so much?" I was like, "Why?" Because I wanted to see how you acted under pressure, but I also knew that you could handle it, and I wanted you to see it for yourself. You deserve to be here. The second that you said hi to me, I knew you were here. So that was huge. So busted my balls for that guy for like 2 years. Went into the appointment setting role, went into sales advisory, went into head coaching. So I was coaching now our six-figure students on how to build an online business. So that got me into coaching. After that, I started my own business, Fit Pro Impact, where I was helping fitness professionals transition online, grow business 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K months. And did very successful with that.
Or like
Had
remote fitness people like that are doing like fitness coaching on an app or something like that.
yeah, that's it, man. So I taught them, how to niche down, how to build a 2,000, 3,000, 4, even $5,000 offer, organic content, booking appointments through DMs, like closing deals, sales, service delivery, everything.
I wonder,
Um,
you maybe coach the person that sold my wife, because she wakes up every morning at 5 a.m. and has like a workout thing that she's a part of on the app, and she kicks ass.
man, it was a good time, man. I had a great time, and it was, I think at heart, like, yes, we run a tech company now, but it's where I get the most buzz out of in this present moment. Zolato is building relationships, building connections. But when people opt in, we get opt-ins now for Zolato every day who signing up. And so the second I see it come through, I'm pinging the number from Just Call, obviously, because I can't ring them from the UK one. And then I'll just go, "Joe, congratulations, man. It's John, co-founder of Zolato. Welcome aboard." Like, and they go, "Hey, John, thanks so much, man," because they didn't expect it, right? And
Yeah.
so that instantly fuels me up. And we start talking about just normal stuff. I was speaking to a guy the other day, and we were speaking about business and kids and stuff. Not even about CRM. So we got the demo after this. But yeah, man, to answer your question here is my business partner, who has been my mentor since I was 17 years old and 29 now. He messaged me and we tried a few things. We tried coaching, we tried growing a newsletter, we tried a bunch of different things. And he's got 2 decades in home service. Started, grown, scaled, sold multiple businesses, board of advisors, the whole lot. And so he's like a real big brother to me. And never asked me for a penny, always a message away. He finally asked me a question. He said, "Hey, John, why don't we just do something together?" And I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
This guy is like my genuine inspiration. He's like my business idol, and it's just so casual. I said, "Well, what do you mean?" He goes, "Hey, you free?" I was like, "Absolutely," and I wasn't free. Like, I was actually busy, but I
Yeah.
ran home.
I'm free enough.
I, yeah, man, I ran home like a 20-minute sprint straight home. I was like, just trying to run home. And he said, "Hey, I'm ready." I was like, "Dude, give me 2 minutes, be there, I'll be there, I'll be there." Bang, zoom up, like just trying to sort my hair out. It's all over the place. I was like, "Hey, man, how's it going?" And anyway, we started talking about it, led from one thing to the next, did a few things. And he said, "John, why don't we just buy a business?" And I went, "Can you even do that?" Like, again, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Um, and he was like, "Yeah, why don't we just buy a business? Like, we'll have it over in the States. You come fly over and we'll make the dream happen." So we went on a
Is he in the
biz
US
bike.
or where is he at?
Yeah, he's over in Oregon.
Okay.
Yeah. So, fun fact is, over 12 years, we've never met in person. And we've had many businesses together. We bought one together when our buildings are Zolato together. It's crazy. And I think we maybe only had about 10 Zoom calls the entire time. Um, Shout out WhatsApp voice notes. But yeah, so he was like, why don't we just do home service? You know, this is my backyard. You go learn about it. You've got a 10-year sales background. So a lot of what you have is just transferable. You just need to know the industry, know what they're looking for, know the pain points, know the language, and you'll just fit in. So I started reading books, pretty much consumed everything by Tommy Mello. Al Levy, Seven Power Contractor. Like I was diving into everything. Cody Sanchez, How to Buy Businesses. And long story short, man, is yeah, led from one thing to the next. We bought it for the guy wanted 36K. We recognized he was about to take it into its ninth year, it's in its 10th year now. We put 5K down, put the rest on seller finance, and we fully bought him out in just a few short months. So we hired our first technician, Kevin, 19-year-old kid from Iowa, Des Moines, and he's been absolutely crushing it ever since. And you know, we always wanted to prove to ourselves that we could do something online as well, which is why we've got Zolato.
Yeah.
We recognize there's a lot of pain points. There's, you know, and we're trying our very hardest to fill those. I just don't see any point in why you need to pay it for a CRM to run your business. You know, it's just I don't know. I just
what inspired you guys to start working on a CRM? Was it just like, was it something that you had been thinking about before you bought the cleaning company, or was it something that when you bought that company you're like, wait, how much are we paying for a CRM? Why don't we just build our own? Like, what was the catalyst?
yeah, that's a good question, man. So it started with the idea of like, well, how how do we do something online? And we recognized the big impact that AI was having. And it made absolute sense to us to just jump on that bandwagon. And we've seen a lot of people, even over these last, you know, few 4, 5, 6, 7 months, come in, go out, come in, go out, and no one's really sticking to it. And so we made a commitment to not just ourselves, but to each other. And we said, hey, look, if we go into this AI thing, we're not on this to just run the hype train. We're on this for the next 5 to 10 years. So, you know, we mutually shook hands and said, all right, let's get it. So we used everything that I'd known about sales, about home service, paired of his almost 2 decades worth of in the industry. And originally it started off with 5 AI employees, which we still have, and we're coming out with those real soon. They take care of your data, your finance, your marketing, sales, and back end operations. And then we thought to ourselves, this is still isn't quite the edge that we're looking for. Yes, it's impressive. No one else really has this specifically built for home service. But there's another thing here that we're missing. So we were scratching our mind and thinking, well, what is this thing? And we were looking around and we thought, why don't we just do a CRM? Now we were going to charge, you know, something small for like $97 a month or something. And we thought to ourselves, why don't we just do it for free? Because what we're going for is we're going to look to swamp the market with market share first, kind of do it the Bill Gates style, right? It's just
Yeah.
throw windows at everyone, get in everyone's hands. And the only thing we're doing different is we're not pulling the trigger and we're now charging for Microsoft Office, if you will.
Yeah.
Our CRM is free forever and it will never change. That is genuinely our public promise. So, you know, we've got a lot of interest, we've got a lot of great feedback, great suggestions, and we're still building. But the power that lies with us is that we're not a massive, 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 massive company yet that just sees people as a number. We see them as human beings, operate as peers in the industry. And so my little personal saying is you request, we do. So if you have a request or a suggestion or something you want custom built for your CRM specifically, then it will shoot straight to the top of our list. So yeah, it's been an interesting journey, man.
Do you have developers that you work with on it, or has it just been something you guys have been building? How have you built it out?
Just us, man. So Oleg has been uh developing like an absolute madman for the last 5 or 6 months. He's just been complete and he still runs home service businesses, so he's still very much in the game.
Yeah.
Um He's got a young daughter as well, got a wife. So he's got a family. He's got a few businesses he's running. He's got Zolato, but he's been in the background, man, just tapping into that matrix, just boom, 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 it's just all day, every day. So he's doing it all himself, and he has done an absolute phenomenal job, and is still continuing to do so. So
How
I,
how has, like, I assume you guys mess with it in your own businesses too. How beneficial is that to like have businesses that you're like, well, let's test this. Maybe it's a little too soon to test it with a client, but hey, you want to try this in your business? I'll try this in this one over here. How do you
yeah,
guys play with that?
yeah, no, good question. So, well, he again, he still has businesses in the trade. We have Optimax as well, which is the one over in Iowa. And it's very obvious to us that before you hear a lot of like app developers and software developers say, well, it doesn't need to be perfect. Just throw it out there, take imperfect action, get it out there. We took a different approach. We don't, well, why can't we just polish it to the best that we can? Know that it's not going to be perfect, but we're going to do our damnness to make sure that that thing is firing on all cylinders, and we'll welcome any feedback. And every single app out there is going to come across bugs.
Mhm.
So we tested it through his business, we tested it through Optimax, and in all honesty, we found a load of stuff that, thank goodness that we didn't release this thing,
Yeah.
because it was janky, things weren't sending properly. The AI response team was just not doing what it was supposed to be doing. It was a little bit all over the show. It looked great, but there was just simple things that often take the longest to develop, that just wasn't quite working. So we pulled it back just a little bit longer. And then we said to ourselves, look, we're going to completely bust our balls here to the end of July, July 31st. And whatever position it's in, we're just going to release it. It's free, you know? Um, and thankfully, we released it in a fantastic fashion. Like it's genuinely very, very good. We're still updating it now, but it's very good. So we did test it through a few different businesses. So
Those I feel like whenever you're innovating something in a business and you get all excited about it and then you implement it, you're like, oh fuck. It's like
oh man, yeah,
it's without failure. Like there's no way you can anticipate all the shit that's gonna happen, but you get excited about it and you get hopeful about it. And then the minute that you start testing it, you're just like, life sucks for an extended period of
yeah.
time.
That's exactly it, man. And you gotta check your emotions. Like we again, Oleg, especially Oleg, man. He's been developing this thing for months and months on end, and he said to me, he goes, John, I'm not going to show you anything until it's released. And I was like, I mean, surely I've got it. I mean, if I'm trying to help put people in front of it, I've got to know about it, right? And he goes, no, you know what it is. You know how good it is. You know what it does. You know why people need to get into this thing. Just do your thing. I was like, all right. So he showed me on July 31st, and we sat down on a Zoom call. He goes, right, I'm not going to say anything. Here's your login details. Go through it. So he sat there, like legs up and just chilling, and you know, and I was going through it, and I was like, dude, this is genuinely incredible. He was like, right, we'll go and click on this. I was like, wow, just mind. I was like, what? This happens when you do that? Yeah. And I was like, dude, like, just congrats. Like, that is genuinely amazing. He goes, great. What's next? I was like, whoa, take a minute, man. Like, pat yourself on the back. Let's have a little bit of a praise. And he goes, all right, well done, guys. All right, what's next? And I was like, man, this guy, man. So yeah, it was a good experience. Obviously I'm fully into it now, but he really wanted to be able to have me in a position where it was true, honest, authentic, non-biased experience, so that he could go back and initially just off my feedbacks, we found maybe three or four, maybe even five things that we could improve, change, tweak, make better. But we got those figured out same day. Um, so it's a brilliant piece of kit, man. Brilliant piece of kit.
What I mean, you're only a couple weeks in, but how many people do you have starting to implement it now?
So as of right now, we got a few more today. So we've got around about 27, 30 signups,
Sweet.
which really, I was away for like 3 days. So in literally bang on 14 days in, like we're looking at like, nearly 30 signups. So
That's
and we're
moving.
not,
That's cooking.
yeah, it's things are moving, man. Things are moving. We're not even scratching the surface. We've got a lot of big connections, a lot of big relationships that I've previously been working on for months and months and months and months on end. Calling them up and saying, "Hey, man, congratulations on this, congratulations on that." Supporting them through email, supporting them through social media, sharing their stuff to my pages, giving shout outs, attending their webinars, attending their trainings, giving them handwritten notes, and then kind of putting it into Claude to move it. I was going all in on relationships. So fingers crossed, they all like what we're doing. That's a certainty. It's just a matter of having them look at it now and hopefully make some suggestions, give us some feedback, and hopefully spread the word, man. Because if they do, I mean, we'll certainly buy them something to say thank you, like really, really nice. But that's potentially 5 to 6 thousand people in the home service space that will now know about it just from one connection. So and it's also, I mean, I don't know, you'll probably have some advice to your younger self as well, man. But and I'm pretty sure that people watching as well would certainly have some advice. Is that if I could go back to my 17-year-old self and give that person maybe one or two pieces of advice, I'd say, dude, spend all your time on building meaningful, value-driven relationships and just forget about everything else. If there has to be one thing, it's relationship building. Second, personally, I might be a little bit biased, but sales is also in there as well. Because sales doesn't just teach you how to make money, it teaches you the psychology of people. It teaches you more about yourself than any other skill that I've personally experienced inside a business. Um, Teaches you about persuasion, influence, leadership, loads of different things. And it's transferable anywhere. So, yeah, building relationships is huge.
To me, I would say sales and relationship are the same thing because you can't have you're always selling. You might not be
Yeah.
selling something for money all the time, but you're always selling yourself. It's probably the only reason my wife married me is that I'm pretty authentic. Otherwise, I think she would have met me and been like, "This guy's a total douchebag," which I still am. I also still am that. Don't get me wrong, but I was just transparent about it, so at least she knew what she was getting. I'm biased on this one too because I would say learn how to manage money, whether it's yours, somebody else's, or your business's. Like you can be great at everything, but if you are not fiscally savvy, you can blow it all. Like I always coach all my clients like you are just in the business of decision making. It doesn't matter if it's a home exterior cleaning company, it doesn't matter if you're picking up dog poop, it doesn't matter if you're building software. You're always making decisions and every decision is a financial one at heart. And so you don't have to be consumed by money. It's not like it runs your life, but the more aware you are of the trade-offs that you're making, like it always comes back to a monetary decision. So, but relationships are the thing that always make the most amount of money. I watch it over and over again. Interestingly enough, I have found, especially in the home services, and you already talked about, was your dude's name Kevin? Did you say your dude in Iowa that is on your team?
Right.
When I do books and CFO for home service companies, the ones that are the most successful are always the best at the ones that build relationships with employees the best. If they are great leaders and recruiters, they win. If they're not, they kind of lose because they can be so good at marketing and sales. But if they can't get somebody on their team, then they just are the asshole complaining on Facebook that nobody wants to work anymore. And it's hard to find good help these days, but really like they just don't look in the mirror to see that the leadership is the problem, that they're creating a job that nobody wants and blaming everybody else. But again, it's all just relationships and sales. Recruiting is just relationships and sales. At the end of the day, you're just like, was it James that recruited you? on that Zoom call, like that's the talent. Getting somebody like John on your team, that's the skill. That's huge.
Yeah, that's huge, huge point. And I think the common trend here that runs through my mind is what, when we speak about me jumping on that Zoom call with James, I didn't have any skills. When we hired Kevin, he didn't really have any, skills to a level where we were like, well, this is a no-brainer based on skill alone. We had guys applying who had 10, 15, 20 years experience in the field, but skill can be taught. And the human being can't. It's things like respect, punctuality, time management, organization. These are the things that you can't really teach. It's self-taught, and you have to just have those things. If you've got good training SOPs and good hiring SOPs, like you can just plug someone into the system and nurture them through that. But I always said, man, especially even when I was coaching clients and helping them build the fitness businesses, that everything that happens in this isolated conversation we're having right now in business, it's all a direct mirror image of you. And that is, I remember saying this to a few clients, and they were like, "Ooh, God, that hurts a bit." And I was like, "If it hurts, you probably know it's true, and you're
Yeah.
probably seeing something. You're probably thinking about something of, oh, this is where I could be doing better." And it's so true. Like if you're all over the place, your business is going to be all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
If your sleep sucks and you're not looking after yourself and your time management's all over the place and you're so scattered you can't even have a conversation properly, trying to grow a business to X amount per month or have X amount of impact, it's not going to happen.
Can't do
You've got to start with you, man. So
I had a buddy that always said the outcome that you get is just a direct result of the systems and processes that you built
yeah,
and the people that you hired. And like, if you don't like something, it's your system or process if you're an entrepreneur. And so every time you don't like something in your business, you just got to start in the mirror.
you have to.
It's yours.
Yeah,
It's your problem. You made it that way. So if you don't like it, there's one person that can fix it.
exactly. And that's another thing, man. I think people, I don't know how you're seeing it right now in 2026, but a lot of people they they often fail to genuinely take ownership and responsibility for themselves, their actions, and what they're working towards.
Oh, so bad.
Because it's harder. It's a harder thing to do than just point the blame, and blame something or someone else. That's easier and it makes you feel better. But feeling doesn't necessarily equate to a result. So as you said, you've got to look in the mirror and it all starts with you. And that's another big thing, man, is extreme ownership. Take responsibility over everything.
Yep.
The good and bad.
We've I'd say that's the number one reason we fire bookkeeping clients is when they don't take ownership of that. Like they have a role to play. There's questions, there's things that they need to do on their end to like help us do a kick-ass job for them. And I explain that to everybody, but I'd say 1 out of 50 isn't actually ready to like be responsible for the financials of their business. And they'll neglect them, and it always cracks me up. They'll neglect them for months, and then they'll send a nasty email like, why is this behind? Blah, blah, blah. And we're like, dude, we send you a weekly update with all of our questions, and that gets longer and longer and longer every week. You choose not to open our emails or respond to our texts. And now your CPA needs something, and now you're gonna like point a finger at us and blame us that your stuff isn't ready. Like, either you can apologize and get us the shit we need, but if you want to double down and be a dick about it, like you're gone. You're fired real fast. And it's
Why do you
crazy.
think?
We have to do that to some people where it's just like, yeah, we're peace out. We ain't a good fit.
Yeah. Why do you think that's the case, though, man? Because I know it's something you have to almost kind of train, and maybe it's a skill that you have to adopt. But I mean, if you're in the game of business, you I mean, I just don't know why people just don't give it more attention.
Um, it's the accountability thing, like the ownership and accountability thing that you said, but it's usually it never happens with a business owner that's successful. I'll tell you that. Like it's the ones that are struggling and their business is struggling and maybe their marriage is struggling or they're struggling as a parent or something and that's making a negative impact on their business, right? There's usually a catalyst behind the scenes for a lot of these things and for whatever it is, it's creating shit happening in their business that they don't like. And it's just so much easier to point a finger than to look in the mirror, right? If you point a finger, you don't actually have to do anything. If you look in the mirror, and you mentioned this earlier, like all of those inherent skill sets of accountability, responsibility, integrity, all of that stuff, it's you can teach somebody how to do the skill. You can't teach them how to be a hard worker, how to be trustworthy, how to be on time. We learn that shit like before we're 5. And if we didn't learn it then, the only time I've ever seen an adult learn it is if they like hit rock bottom, like OD'd on heroin, and then like changed their life, right? They like had a near death experience, rock bottom, and then changed everything about the way they went around their life because it was such an impactful moment. But unless you hit rock bottom, in a lot of cases, those things are so inherent you can't change that about yourself. And so I just see like when times get tough, some people take massive ownership and fix it. Although in a lot of those cases, I don't watch the people that I see that do that. Times don't get that tough because they never let it get there. They're on it before it even like sniffs it. It's the people that don't that like are lethargic to it and turn their shoulder and ignore it. And then when it does get bad, their reaction is I got to blame somebody. So
Yeah, yeah, man. It reminds me of the comfort zone. You know, when things are
yeah,
too comfortable, there's not enough pain that you need to move, but there's also it's just a very well, it's a comfortable place. Um, and as you said, if someone was to create massive action uh through coming out the other end of rock bottom, I instantly go to, well, what is that? It's pain evasion. Like I've been there. I do not want to be that person anymore. I don't want to go anywhere near where I was because I know how much it hurts. Not just me, but I'm guaranteeing other people and other things around them. And so they'll absolutely bust their tail end to get away from that thing completely. So they go all in. And going all in is something that, especially in my younger years, man, I've always back then failed to do. I was always like, right, let's do it for 6 months. Let's do it for even 8 months, 12 months, and I'll pull back. We'll go again and then we'll pull back. And I just span my wheels over and over and over and over again. And I don't think it's about personally going all in terms of like daily action, because there's some days, right, where you get better days other than others. Um, there's days where you wake up a little bit more tired, a little bit more groggy, but you've got to do what you can do to the best of your ability. Whether that's a 16-hour day or whether it's a 2-hour day, whatever you're doing in that moment, you've got to commit and do it to the best of your ability. Um, and I think the secret really is, I mean, you've probably heard it a million times over, man. It's like, well, what's the secret? If you could do one thing, it's like, man, just it's consistency. It's just that you have to be consistent. Um, and I see it all the time. I'm pretty sure you've seen it all the time, and people watching this have seen it all the time. People start new things. Right, well, I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to start a new business, and great, all things are happy. As Alex Hormozy says, it's that kind of scale where you get optimistic and you fall down, you go back up again. And when you get past the optimistic stage and you sink, that's where people just usually go back and think, "Oh, that shiny object over there, that's looking good." Instead of trying to crawl back up and continuing, that's where the goal is. But not many people get that. So it's it's just a shame. It's just a shame, but it is
I
how it
think
is.
a lot of that goes back to relationships, right? When you build the right relationships, when things get tough, you have a lot of people in your corner. You have a lot of people bringing you support, and hopefully they're the right type of people that know how to support you as well. Like everybody needs different angles of support, and however they go about whatever that problem is. But it always does go back to relationships. Like, especially in small business, you're just going to have so many. I mean, like if you're growing every day, you're working on something, on a new problem that you've never solved before. Like all the shit that you've solved is behind you. And if you grew your business, now you're working on something. I was with my buddy Ben yesterday. We were out doing our bear baiting run. And he was like, "Hey, what are you guys doing at Best Damn Bookkeeping about this? And what about this? And I'm thinking about you guys for this." I mean, he, for like 30 minutes, he was just like poking holes at my business model. It's like, that's a good friend. That's a good relationship. He's like, like, "Hey, here's the thing I'm thinking about for you guys. Here's the thing I'm thinking about for you guys." But they give a lot of shit about your success. And so like those relationships are absolutely invaluable because they're thinking about stuff from a different perspective, and they're challenging you, and they're running stuff past you. And I think when you do run into those challenges that sometimes really kick your ass, they're there to pick you up. And when you think you're doing great, they're there to be like, "Yeah, but what about this?" And they like keep you level, they keep you focused, they keep you consistent. Like you said, like keep showing up. Don't get too high, don't get too low. Because as business owners, that's like the easiest thing to do. Is we're riding the biggest roller coaster. It's really easy to get super excited and super down on yourself, but it's why the relationships are so important.
It really is, man. So if I can piggyback off that for a second, if you were to give advice to someone, or maybe even your younger self, because this is still something I'm still kind of working on, is, as you said, business, we have really big highs, but we can also have super low lows. But I think the winners, in my opinion, from what I've learned from the conversations I've had, just no matter what happens, remain neutral. If you agree with that, what advice would you give? If you don't disagree with it, then my question is kind of invalid, right? But I mean, like, what would you how would you speak to that?
I mean, I think they're neutral on the outside, but they're still feeling the emotions inside. They keep it in check, right? I think there's some experience that goes along with it. Early on in your career, it's easier to get emotional about it because it's new. And the longer you've been at it for, the more you kind of like understand the ups and downs and can rationalize them a little bit. One thing that I've always really focused on to like keep my attitude where it needs to be is I'm very strong at dismissing stuff that is out of my control. And there's so many things that are out of your control that can ruin your day. But if there's nothing that you did to cause it and nothing you can do about it, it deserves 0% of your time. But there's so many people out there posting bullshit on politics that is totally out of their control, and they let it ruin their day, and they get into arguments and just all kinds of stupid shit that the only thing they can do is go and try to ruin somebody else's day. And they will. They'll be out there picking fights. And I just stay out of all of that shit because I can't control it. I sure as hell don't want it to control me. I'm never going to leave an interaction like that in a better mood. And one of our core values at Best Damn Bookkeeping, the B, our acronym is BEST, BEST. The B stands for blessed. And it's all about bringing a good attitude. That's like the one thing you get to decide every day. I had this talk with my 4-year-old this morning. He woke up, he was crying, he was being just a little piece of shit. I love the kid to death. He's freaking awesome. But nothing happened to him. Nothing. We got up. We woke up. We had to take a leak and brush our teeth. And it was an awful start to the morning. And my 2 older kids, my girls, they went through those phases too. But I've just been so relentless, so consistent, back to what you said, of just ingraining in my children that nobody gets to decide your attitude but you. And this is your choice. If this is how you want to feel in the morning and this is how you want to behave, nothing bad has happened to you. You didn't cause anything bad. Nothing bad happened, directly to you. And so this is purely your choice to behave like this and to feel like this. You have no rationale for feeling it. Granted, there's very few rationales for feelings. But like, you get to decide. And if this is what you're deciding, cool. But like, I don't think you enjoy throwing a tantrum and crying and screaming and behaving like this, because now we have a stressful interaction. I don't think you enjoy this. Do you like doing this? Because this is your choice. What are we doing? Why are we doing this? And then I always make sure, like, by the time we got down to breakfast, he's happy, he's joking, and I'm like, Crosby, you remember 5 minutes ago when you were just awful and you were crying and you were in a terrible mood? And he just kind of looks at me. I'm like, did you like that? Was that fun? No. I'm like, well, let's not do that again. Like, that was just you, man. You get to decide. You don't, like, you're 4, right? And you've got big feelings, and that's cool. But you also chose that. Nobody chose that for you. That was just all you, man. Like, you 100% chose that.
That's
But
such a good point, man.
back
Such
to
a
your
good point.
question, though, I think great leaders are oftentimes stable because they're reading everybody else and they're trying to take the temperature of the room. And I make a point in our team all the time is like, yeah, we're gonna have highs and lows. I won't say my team has never seen me in like a little bit of a shitty mood or fired up. Like, I'll get fired up. Usually if a client's being a piece of shit, and I'm like freaking Papa Bear. Like, if a client's being a piece of shit to one of our employees, I'll jump on them so fast. But kind of the lesson I try to give my 4-year-old is like, even in the worst days, I still get to choose my approach and my attitude. And that's what my team sees, and that's what influences them, and that's what influences my clients. And so I got to bring a good attitude. People love working with people that have a good attitude and are like bringing some energy. And that's my job. Like, I'm not the systems and process builder. I'm the culture builder. I'm the attitude bringer. And even everything that sucks is just an opportunity for us to solve some cool problems and make it better. So whether it's good or bad or ugly, like, it's a cool opportunity for us to do more cool shit. So don't get down about it. Let's go have some fun.
Yeah, I agree with every single word. I mean, I know this is like your show, right? But I was gonna say, I mean, I'm still a couple of years off from like me and my partner have been together for 8 years now, and it's been it's a long time.
Dude, that's
And
the best, man. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, I'm 41 and we got 10, 8, and 4-year old. And like, we had our first kid when we were around 30, and then, like, very intentionally, like, that was just kind of when we hit that wave. But damn, my wife and I had a lot of fun in our 20s when we didn't have kids, and we were just best friends.
yeah,
Now we're just a transaction. We're like, hey,
yeah, right.
we're great, but it changes a lot. It's 20s. The 20s are great, man.
Yeah, it is good, man. It's good. And again, there's kind of like two pockets of conversation here, but I think the first one, I guess, to kind of steer into the second would be, I came across this reel, and I'm very aware that I'm doing it, and people who are around me and in my inner circle are very aware that I'm doing it as well. Um, is that, and this is where yourself and obviously the people watching this would be able to kind of shine their wisdom light on this. But I'm okay sacrificing my 20s and my early 30s to build my mid 30s, 40s, 50s, and so on and so forth. And not just for me, but also, my future wife and kids. Um, and so, man, there's so many avenues that you can go in with this because it, it's, I've always had a thought of like, well, I want to have kids at 32. I want to get married at 31, whatever it might be. And I always used to attach a specific age to things because I think growing up, it's, you think of like, when you're 10 years old, 12 years old, 15, 16, you look at someone in my case who's now 29, nearly 30 years old, and think, you old bastard. Like, it's can't be it. But at the same time, 30, 40, 50, even 60 now is still young enough. It's still young to do some wild, crazy, amazing, life changing shit.
Oh,
Like
hell
you've
yeah.
got time and so your life can change inside of 12 months now, especially with the opportunity that's out here. So, when I'm 30, 40, 50 years old, I'm still going to be thinking like, shit, I'm still a young buck. And I think that'll give me energy in itself. But I'm okay to sacrifice big chunks of my 20s so I can thrive and flourish later in life. And where I sometimes, I don't know if fail's the right word to use, but is to say to myself, hey man, like, A, you're doing well, job well done on what you've just done, or where you've got to so far. Um, and like, how would you incorporate all of this and trying to start slash run a family at the same time? I mean, you said you got three kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you do it? How do you run a business? I mean, you said you got a lot of clients, right? You've been in the game as I think you said since 2011. So you've done an absolute bomb load of stuff, and you're still continuing to do it and push and thrive. And what's the next thing? What's the next thing? So how do you do it, man? That's probably the question I'm landing on right now. Is how do you do it all?
So one thing I would say right away is you're not sacrificing anything, man. You're going to raves, you're going to London, you're building businesses, like you're living the fucking dream, right? It's not a sacrifice. You're not if you got to 40 or 50 and you're like, man, I built so much stuff, I have so much money, now I'm gonna go start another business is all you would do. Like this is the fun. Uh it's more fun in a lot of times when you have kids. Part of it is you learn, especially because you got an early start. I didn't, so 2011, I started helping with our small businesses, but I didn't have the guts to leave the corporate world until 2016. So I spent almost 10 years in the corporate world. Now I've spent 10 years building my own businesses. I don't regret that time, but you're way ahead of where I was. Like, man, if I had 10 more years of building small businesses, damn, I'd be real good. I'm still going to be fucking up every day 10 years from now, but I'd be fucking up other stuff instead of the stuff I'm fucking up right now because I would have learned more. I don't regret any time in the corporate world. It was awesome. I learned a ton about systems and processes and leadership. And I read a LinkedIn post by another guest that was on the podcast a few months ago, and he was like, "Yeah, as entrepreneurs, we get sick of the bureaucracy of the corporate world, but the bureaucracy is the systems and processes, and a lot of us leave that and value our problem solving skills, and then we realize like, oh, the systems and processes are so that I don't have to problem solve everything all the time. And then we start turning our business into a bigger corporation because yeah, it moves slower, but they have a lot of stuff figured out in that regard that we take for granted. But anyway, like I said, you're not sacrificing anything, you're choosing that. Like, you can't look at me right now and tell me you're not having fun doing what you're doing. Like, you're choosing it, right? Like, it is, you're not sacrificing anything. When you get into your 40s and 50s, you're just going to keep doing more of the same. Kids and family changes the dynamic of it a little bit, but with 100% certainty, and that, like, it's different for everybody. With 100% certainty, I will say though, the best case is you get married and nothing changes. Like, that's how you know you got the right person, because you're basically already freaking married. You know them so well, they know you so well. Like, that's just putting a stamp on it. Nothing changes at all. Kids change a little bit, but also, like, you choose how you parent them. But from like day one, when we had our first kid, they were going to the bar with me. I was taking them out in the woods if I was going and doing stuff in the woods. They don't get a say in it. They're 2 months old, right? They're coming wherever I'm coming, right? We had all the carrying things. They were in loud places. They were in quiet places. Our kids can sleep through anything. They grew up taking, like, oh, we're all here. Well, you can take a nap right there. Yeah, it's loud. You don't need it to be quiet when you're a baby to sleep. You're tired. You sleep. And so, like, our kids just grew up doing what we do. I'm picking them up. I got pickup duty. They're coming out to bait bears with me. The three of them are fighting over who gets to come bear hunting. And I'm like, I don't think I'm going to bring you guys this time. It's supposed to be an out of town hunting trip, but we're doing like a staycation hunting trip. But like, the kids only know what vibe you bring them. And I credit my wife with this. I watch so many moms that like baby the shit out of their kids. And then the kids grow up helpless. They can't do anything for themselves because like the mom does everything. And it's like, oh no, they're going to get hurt. Our kids, they climb everything. I mean, I have to yell at them like not to break stuff, including each other sometimes. But they don't know what gross is. Like I kill a lot of animals. We deer hunt, we turkey hunt, going bear hunting. When I bring stuff home, they don't know that that's not normal. We have 4 freezers full of food that I go kill. We go fishing, we go hunting. They don't know that it's gross because mom comes bow hunting too. Like she didn't grow up doing it, but she's like, I don't want my kids to think this is just something dudes do. Like I'll shoot one, right? And so like they're just going to learn whatever you teach them. You got to be careful about stuff you teach them that you don't mean to. So that's always the funniest thing when they start getting older. Even now, my 4-year-old, I literally like yesterday, I was like, come on, Crosby. And he looks at me and goes, come on, Dad. And that's his like joke. He just always just mocking me. Come on, Dad. And I'm like, no, I'm serious. We gotta go. Come on, Dad. And so like it doesn't change what you do, who you are. If you let it change you, then I think you're doing it wrong. Like they're coming with you. You get to decide. You're the one in charge, you know?
That's a very good point. Yeah, and just what you said there about about Crosby is that if we with my dad, it was, I don't know if it's based on your personality. I would say that with at least with my dad, that when I was younger, I always struggled to take him serious. Like even when he was being serious, like, no, come on, John. I'm like,
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Come on, John.
Right? It's like his face, like he was saying one thing, but his face was saying another, and like it almost looked like he was trying not to laugh himself. I don't know, man. Is that something that you encounter, or?
Yeah. My kids
Yeah.
can't take me seriously all the time. And so when I am if I yell really loud and swear, then they get it. But that, like, I got to escalate it quite a bit before they realize I'm not joking. And I'll escalate if I need to. By the way, we got press start 7 in the Instagram chat here. He says, go on, Jay. Always rooting for you, brother. Of course, rooting for you. We got Sharp Power Wash is in the house over here. Thanks for checking in, guys. But yeah, I mean, I think that's part of the fun, right? Like they learn you without your intent of them learning you, and they know when you're serious and when you're not serious, and they'll push your buttons, but they will. This is just to a T, just like managing employees is. And the relationship was different with kids, but taking it back to the business side is like whatever you tolerate will persist. And so if you have employees and you tolerate them showing up late, or you tolerate them leaving a job early, or you tolerate them, like not like cutting this corner, that's permission. And the same shit happens with kids. Go figure. Is if you tolerate them not doing what you asked the first time and don't make a big deal of it, they're just going to keep doing it. Anything that you tolerate, you're allowing that system and process to persist. And my wife and I see that now, especially with our 10 and 8-year-old. We're like, I can see what we tolerated. One of them, we tolerated whining too long with the second one, and we just taught her to whine. That's how she gets what she wants. And she's so whiny sometimes. She's a great kid, means well, treats people well. She's so fucking whiny sometimes.
How do you?
We did it.
How do you stop the winding? How do you prevent that from being a thing?
I don't know, man. I'm still fighting it. I'm still
trying to
fighting
figure
it.
out.
So here's I mean, I am hard on her when when that's her approach, and my 10-year-old, when she was 7 or 8, she kind of like got out of it, and she really like emotionally, she'll have a rough time, and she's still learning how to manage her emotions. And so she whines a lot less. The 8-year-old still whines quite a bit. The 4-year-old's 4. So, you're going to get those tantrums and stuff. And I just try to always I just call it out, like call it what it is. I try not to ignore it. And so when the 8-year-old's being really whiny, same thing, she's getting a little bit better. And I think back to when I was in that age, there's one behavior of mine that I was super embarrassed about. But God, I probably had it till I was like 12. Playing sports, if I lost, I would quit and cry. Like if I struck out playing baseball, I would cry and like sit out. I like couldn't handle losing. Um, I would fake an injury. I was that kid. I was the injury faking little wimp. Um, and again, like to the point where I'd be embarrassed by it now. If my kid was doing that, I'd be like, get your ass back in there and suck it up. You know, like you signed up to play this sport. I'm probably hard on my kids for that because it's like a behavior I had that I am not proud of. But now I'm so anti that. But right, but like I think when I was 10, my parents were like, "Oh my god, this kid's gonna grow up to be the biggest freaking sissy on the planet, right? Like, kid can't even strike out in baseball without crying." Um, and so like I don't know, I can't point to a catalyst where that changed. I'm still really competitive, but I've just like learned to funnel it different. And so back to my 8-year-old that's whiny. I'm kind of hoping like now she'll be like the older when she gets older, she'll be the anti-whiner because she'll have gotten it all out of her system and be so embarrassed that that was her approach that she'll be totally anti-whine. And I also, and maybe this is the contrarian of me, when I was that age, I lied all the time. I was awful. About shit that I didn't even need to lie about. And same thing, like I don't know where it changed. Maybe it changed because I realized I was really bad at it and I couldn't get away with anything, whether it was teachers, parents, whoever. And somewhere in like high school, I just stopped lying and I started to embrace the cold hard truth, which when people ask me if I like what they're wearing or like does this look okay, you got to be careful if you ask me an opinion question because I won't lie to you. I will tell you exactly what I'm thinking. And so like again, I'm just hoping with Reggie that it's she's getting it out of her system and it'll be that like one of those things she's not proud of. And maybe it's the rock bottom moment. Like somebody has to hit rock bottom to like get those bad behaviors out of the way and be a phoenix coming from the ashes. Those were my two things that when I look back at when I was like an adolescent single digit kiddo that I'm embarrassed about and absolutely 100% turned to 180 on them for that reason as I got older.
Yeah, because you've already seen. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you mentioned something there about you were that you used to lie and now you don't. And if someone was to ask you, hey, like, Dan, what do you think about what I'm wearing today? Do you like the jacket? Do you like my hair? Like, and if you genuinely don't like it, you're saying now that you'll probably tell them, well, I don't think it looks great, like, so how do you, so this is also something that I'd selfishly also like to know the answer to if you have one, or maybe some advice or whatever you have, is that I was having a conversation with another friend of mine a few days ago, and he was saying to me, he's like, you know what, John, there are many things that I admire about you. But one of the things is you don't give a shit what people think. And I was like, really? Do I not? And he goes,
Yeah. Is that a compliment?
yeah. He goes, dude, you couldn't give less of a crap if you tried. That was all. I was always the kid, man, who was like the shy, introverted kid. Now I'm like, man, ask my girlfriend. Like I speak to every. If they have a pulse, I'm open on a conversation with them, right? So, um, so I just love speaking. Hey, maybe I should start my own podcast at some point, man. Damn, but just call it the John Rossiter Show.
There you
But
go.
I was thinking, like, I don't care. Like, I mean, right now, man, like my hair's not done. I'm just wearing a normal black t-shirt. I'm not. I don't really care. Um, but if I was to walk outside like this, I still wouldn't care, which never used to be me because I used to be in a point when I was 16 years old where I was literally on the doorstep of my house and I'd isolated myself for 6 months straight. And I quit my driving lessons, I quit college, quit my job to do what? It wasn't to start a magical business that's going to turn me into a millionaire overnight. It was to play FIFA every single night.
I mean, that
And
was a fun game. Fun game.
literally, man, I was obsessed with the damn thing. but I think in more in depth, it was my place of comfort.
Mhm.
And going and doing these other things was getting me uncomfortable. So I kind of fall back into the shell that I knew best. And so I was in that comfort bubble for so long that, again, I'll go back to when I stepped off my doorstep and I took a breath, I looked around me, and I instantly, it was like someone flicked the switch, burst into tears because I thought, like, genuinely, it was like I could visually see everybody opening their curtains and looking at me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, the whole world's on me. And I closed the door and I just cried my eyes out. Um, I'm no longer like that now, obviously, because I wouldn't be on this thing. Um, but I still do care about what people think about me. And it's to a point where it's like I want to be perceived well to others. It's not that I'm a bad person or an idiot behind the scenes. Like what you're getting from me now is my genuine self. But there's also a part of me that's like, I would like to be perceived well, because if I'm perceived as a bad person or someone that you couldn't have a few beers with, it triggers something in my brain saying, like, you're not enough, you know? And I don't know where it even comes from. Which is
I
why
yeah.
yeah, go. Because you might have something on this.
Yeah, man. I have the same thing. I growing up, I think I was way more sensitive to it, but I get the same sort of feedback today as like I'm just doing Dan stuff. And I'm really good at doing Dan stuff. I've got Dan stuff dialed in. Been working at it for 40 plus years. Um and what I have found is I don't care what people think unless I believe they think the wrong thing. Uh because it's when there's a misalignment of like who I know I am and what somebody says I am, that bugs me. Right? If somebody was like, "Dan, guy's a freaking nerd. All he does is want to talk numbers." I'd be like, "Hell yeah." "Dan, that guy's a borderline alcoholic. Every time I see him, he's got a beer." "Damn right." "Dan, that guy hunts way too much." "You bet I do. Every chance I get."
Yeah,
"Dan, like if it they can say it like it's an insult, but if it's spot on, sweet. Yep, that's exactly who I am. Uh, I have this always cracks me up. From my last business, I have like 3 or 4 haters that will talk shit about me on social media, and it bothered me like crazy because in in my perception, they were blaming me for shit that wasn't my shit. I was like leaving a partnership. I was dealing with lawyers. I was not going in and solving their problems anymore. I like that was not my responsibility. I was getting exited against my will from a company that I built. And that wasn't fun. And I wasn't there to like I was there to do my fiduciary responsibility and not let the company fall apart. But I'm not going to start building systems and processes. I'm leaving to start my own new company. This was 3 years ago. And so like stuff started going to hell and some people's service went down and was downright shit. And A, like it wasn't my job to do anything about it. B, I couldn't do anything about it. I was dealing with lawyers because I was trying to leave and start my own thing. And for 4 months, I was working out that deal. And I was leaving it to the team to solve all the problems. And if they couldn't solve the problems, that's no longer my company. That was that company's problem. And they blamed me for that till the end of time. Uh, and it bothered me a lot right away because the shit they would say, I'd be like, that is not true. But also, you don't know the truth. That's just you. That I can see why you would think that because where you were sitting, that looked like what was happening. And so I get the perception, but that's just the story you're telling yourself. That's not my story. I was there. I was there for it. I know exactly what happened. But also now I'm contractually obligated not to say what exactly happened, type of thing, because that was part of the buyout agreement. So that drives me crazy. Like that, because I would have said before that, like, I don't fucking care what anybody says. Um, that bothered me when it was like a contradiction to what I work so hard to be perceived as. And there's a lot of people that would disagree with what I am perceived as. I don't care about them, right? It's the ones
yeah,
that have a misguided perception, in my opinion, those are the ones that bug me. I'm trying to get better at not caring about them too.
Yeah. No, that's interesting because that's what I don't care about is like people can say anything they want about me. I couldn't give less of a shit. Um, but you mentioned something there as well, obviously with your partnerships. To kind of branch off that is from your
From your
experience,
experience,
knowing
no.
what you know, what is some advice or lessons that you'd pull from that? As in, like, how do you spot a good partner or a bad partner? Like, what are some of the things, like, again, if you were to start over again and you thought, oh, you know what, I'd like to have a business partner to do this, 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 and this, how would you identify a good one?
It's like it all comes down to integrity. Like at the end of the day, just somebody that says what they do and do what they said they were going to do. Um, I had a guy on this show a couple years ago, and he had said, I'll get it wrong. Jesse, if you watch this, I apologize if I get it wrong. But we had this conversation, like as I was exiting that partnership and I had already started up the new business. It was like just within a couple months of me starting on my new business. And we were talking about this topic, and he goes, you know how you pick the right partner? If you're going to do a business partnership, they have to pass one test, which is you need to trust them so much that if they make it with your spouse, you trust that they won't fuck them. And I was like, oh, interesting. Like interesting perspective. But that's like, I was like, man, that is kind of that level of trust. Like I trust you that much that then we can be business partners. And I do have one business partner today, and I do trust him that much. My old ones, I don't think I would.
I've never heard of that, but
it was hilarious. I laughed so hard when he said that on this show. I was laughing for days, but it's so true when you think about it. Like that's a monumental amount of trust.
Yeah, that's very interesting, especially as a guy as well, man. Like as in like guy partnerships, that's a big one right there.
Yeah, I don't know if it would work with two women. I don't know if that logic applies, but two straight dudes, it applies.
Right. Yeah. That's why I said guys specifically. Yeah. That's exactly what my thought process was. But yeah. No. That's certainly interesting.
I wish I had a more intellectual answer for you on that question, but that's the best answer I've ever heard. So I just got to roll with that one.
No, that is actually very good. And that may be the best answer I've ever heard today. So when someone asked me the same question, I'm like, oh, I remember I spoke to a guy called Dan once. Yeah, he told me. Yeah,
it's definitely the most entertaining answer to that question.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's not like a super serious one, a technical one. It's just boom, straight out there.
It just hits you. It's cold hard truth. So here I got to turn this back around because it's my show, John. I'm supposed to be asking you questions. Darn it.
Yeah.
But hey, this is why it's happy hour, right? If we sat down at a bar, it wouldn't be a one-way conversation. It's a two-way combo. We're going to go back and forth, and that's what we're doing here. Here's my question for you on Zolato. Do you guys have industries that you're focused on? Do you have countries that like is that a thing? Like, would you focus on countries? Because the rules or regs are different in different places. And so you guys would have to build it different. Like so many of us, anybody listening to the show has looked at, has used, has messed with the CRM before if they're a small business owner, but we just see it from the outside looking in and all of our quirky demands and stuff. But as you're building it, what are the things where you're like, oh, damn, we got to worry about that. And sales taxes in Minnesota are different than every other state, and we got to be able to get that data in the invoicing and reporting and whatever. Like, what are some of those quirky nuances that slow you down or whatever the case is?
Yeah, so a few things there, man. So industries that we focus on, specifically home service. But to get more specific on that, we're looking at HVAC, exterior cleaning, pest control, landscaping. We do accommodate general contractors as well. There's a lot of different pieces of home service that we can accommodate. And we've almost set it up in a way where we can accommodate pretty much anything as long as it's in-home service. But there's 7 different ones that we specifically market to. Um, and for right now, it's all. I mean, our primary focus is the US. But if you had a gun to my head and saying, "Hey, John, can you accommodate someone from the UK?" Well, yeah, obviously, like of course we can. But what did we worry about? Um, I don't know, it'd be really interesting to get Oleg's take on this as well. But just having conversations with him, one thing that we had, and I think was where we finally got it last night, is so there's 2 things. The first thing that we haven't quite got yet is getting the app approved on the Apple Store, which is ridiculously frustrating because we've done all of our due diligence. We've built something genuinely epic, and we'd sent it off for approval a couple of times now, and then they finally hit us back with bullet points of things that they should have said in the first one, being like, "Hey, well, we need this information, that
Yeah.
information." I'm just like, why leave this thing till the end? Like, we've
Yeah.
given you all the documents, all the papers, everything you need, the official stuff. And then you're saying, like
Now
it's
you
going
got
to
like
be,
round two. You sound like my tax person. Oh, I
yeah,
also need this stuff. What?
literally. So that's been a bit of a ball ache for us. Like I'm very confident that we're gonna revise it, send it, and we'll be fine. But that was a big thing. It's just one of those like
I
unnecessary
forgot all
inconvenience.
about the app, but I suppose you need the app for the techs out in the field.
Well, we accommodate for that as well. So that's also another thing that a really cool feature of what Zolato has. So right now, like we've got like the web version, that's killer. Like that's the most current polished version. Um, but you can add like admins, you can add sales reps, you can add techs, and they get their own version of Zolato.
Oh, sweet.
So they're not operating from the owner side of things, but it connects in conjunction with the owner. So like,
Okay.
if I was to pull my phone out and I was like, let's say, well, I was a field tech. I just instantly need to go on Zillow and have a look, and it give me my list of jobs, my notes, and it just give me all the stuff that I need to be able to perform a job at its highest level, stay in communication with the team. Again, same for the admin side. Admin gets access to everything, of course. Sales reps get access to their necessities to do their job as well. Um, but another thing that we had a bit of an issue with, still currently going through it, polishing up a few final things, is going through Twilio to get numbers, so you can actually call and text and transcribe stuff and voicemail drop. Um, we have to jump through a few hoops to solve that. We've now got it, polish up a few things, but that's literally no time at all. Like we have those features in now,
Yeah.
but it's just a few extra things we want to put on top of it. But yeah, going through Twilio, it was a bit of a ball ache. But yeah, man, the biggest ball ache so far, from my perspective. I mean, Oleg may disagree with this because he's been in the Matrix, developing away for
Yeah.
months
He's
on
going
end.
to have
But
20 of these.
lack of caffeine or something, But um, yeah, it's definitely been the App Store, man. Like that's been a real pain for us because it's kind of that thing where it's like it's official once it's on the App Store. So but yeah, it's brilliant bit of kit.
What
Um,
is it just Apple that it's a pain, or is it on Google and whatever else too?
right now both, but it's been more of a pain on Apple, you know. Um, and this is a little bit different, but we've managed to build Zolato. I think we've had one Zoom call through 4, 5 months of developing it. So we've literally built this thing on screenshots and voice notes,
Yeah.
which is insane.
It's
So
crazy how you can build a business these days.
it
Like
really is. Yeah, man.
across
I used to be
the world.
so call heavy. I'm like, dude, let's jump on a call. Let's jump on a call. Let's sort it out. And it's like most of the time, you do not need a call. You just need to know the specific and best question to ask to get the answer you need. And that takes seconds. We still have a conversation.
Calls are for shit like this where we just hang out and talk shit for a couple hours.
Yeah, 100%, man. Like, calls are great, but if you add enough of them in your calendar, like, well, again, when I go back to the coaching scene, man, I used to have calls from like 10 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. And plus your marketing, plus your content, plus this, and that on top of it. I was every single day zapped. And as soon as the second my head hit the pillow, boom, I was out. Um, but yeah, man,
There
the
is
amount
something
of stuff,
nice about that though. There is something nice about the minute you put your head down, you just out.
man, that's a skill. And I've got it. I've actually got it now. Shout out to magnesium, by the way. Whoever invented magnesium is the goat.
I think God invented magnesium. Isn't that on the periodic table? I think so. I'm a math guy. I'm not a
Yeah, it
scientist.
is actually. But yeah, I mean, whoever invented the tabs and the things to take, man, like whoever had that idea to put them in a tablet form is an absolute worldie. But that's trained my brain to get used to. And this is another thing. Again, I was speaking to my friend about this because he wants to get into the online space. And I said to him, I was like, dude, my room right now, like where I operate, is literally backwards because like I've got another desk in my actual bedroom, which I know is controversial. But I spin it around so that when I'm facing, I don't see my bed in the corner.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
spin it on the side. So
It's like it's
the
its own
room,
room now. Yeah, you're in your own
yeah,
space.
it looks awful. It looks genuinely awful. Like you walked in, it's not aesthetically pleasing whatsoever. But the reason I do it is because if I spin it like this and I work from there, I can't see past my screens.
Yeah.
And so when I can't see past my screens, my brain doesn't go, oh, it's bedtime. It's time to go to sleep. If I can't see it, I know it's work time.
Yeah.
So when I'm finished, I spin it back around and I'll go jump to the bed. So it's every little tiny thing like that. It's got to be optimized, man. It's a bit black, but it's
It's funny you say that though, because I'm in our spare bedroom and I used to put my desk like there's a bed 4 feet away from me, right over here. It's like a guest bed. I've maybe there's like one time in the last 10 years where I've like been just toast and got off a call and like laid down in it, but I never it's the guest bed. It doesn't like feel like bed to me. It's just a bed in a room in our house. It's not my bed. But even when I first set this desk up, I looked that way where there's 3 windows and I can see out in our backyard and we got a swimming pool out there and pine trees and squirrels running around. But then it was just always weird, like tons of glare in my face and a bed behind me. And so now I shifted it. And so I'm facing closets, but right next to me is the window. Like I can look outside. You can tell the way the light's hitting me. Like I got my outside and there's just enough, like my world's right here. We got 3 monitors up in front of me talking to you, got the mic stuff, got the bar behind me on this sweet green screen right here. But it is like, I don't want the windows behind me, A, because that sucks with the camera, but B, then I'm staring at a bed all day. It's like, it's far enough out in my periphery that I don't think about it as a bed. It's just, it's an obstacle that I need to walk around when I go downstairs to grab water, or in this case, a Coors Light because it's happy hour. But it is funny. It's like we can trick our brains within our surrounding to like focus on what we need to focus on, but got to be intentional about it.
yeah, absolutely. Like you've got to be intentional with your habits, your routine, structure, um, cues as well. Like I do I used to do this a lot and like practiced it for a long time, but I got it from James back in the day. And it's just a simple end of day report where you kind of do a little bit of journaling, you submit your numbers for the day and you hand it in. end of week report, end of month report, end of year report, the whole thing goes. And that was a queue amongst a few different things, like taking a warmer shower, getting into your cozy clothes, whatever it might be. But these are all things that stack up and tell your brain, hey, I'm done now. Like I can go and chill out. Whereas if I'm going to go chill out, still wearing this black tee and the same black cargos that I'm wearing now, my brain's still like, yo, we've got something else to do. Like you're not quite done yet, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Or if
know
I don't
you're
go
not
take
actually trying to go to bed right now. You didn't even take off your black shirt. What are you doing, man?
oh, yeah, exactly, exactly. But if I change this into like a like a tank top or like a baggy oversized tee and some joggers or some shorts, like yeah, man, I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
cooking. You know,
The quicker.
you ain't seen me in a call an oversized tee, man, or some gray joggers or anything. So
Yeah. Yeah. I hear that. That's funny you put it that way because, like, rarely, but every once in a while, like, especially on a weekend, midday, might lay down for a nap, but I don't change. I wear whatever I'm wearing, and my brain knows we got 20 minutes. We're doing we're doing like 20, maybe 30 if I'm pushing it. But if I nap any longer than that, then I'm sleeping and then I'm like more tired.
yeah,
Um, but I intentionally, my wife will go like lay down in bed if she's gonna take a nap, and I'm like, that's a curse. You lay on the couch with your clothes on, so you don't like
yeah.
you just need a little recharge. I don't
Do
want to.
you get
I'm
in the
not going
covers?
to bed. You know what's
Do
that?
you get in the covers as well, or do you stay on top of the covers?
Oh, she'll crawl all the way in, and I'm just like, hell no.
Yeah,
Like I'm not going to bed. I'm just taking a nap. I'll maybe throw like a light blanket on depending on what the temperature is doing, but I'm just as likely to just rock whatever I'm wearing. I just close my eyes for a minute, but like intentionally trying to signal my body like, "Hey, we ain't done yet. We got 15 minutes, and then the kids are probably going to run in that door, and we're going to need to get up and get going, not be groggy like we just woke up."
yeah. And napping's another skill, man. Like it's either you close your eyes and you sleep all day or night, but napping is a practice
It
as
is.
well.
It is.
So
What
yeah, man.
John, what's the goal for Zolato? Where are you guys taking it? Do you have financial goals, client goals? And then after you answer that, I want to get into some of the things you can add on. Like how does it function? If you want to screen share and show it, super cool. But talk about the AI agents you mentioned and like how you guys are building it out and how the pricing. Obviously, it's free, but there are things you can add on and pay for. So lay that stuff out for us too.
Yeah, of course, man. So we originally our goal, I mean, I think as you start off, right, it's just you release it, you get your first user, you get some real world feedback, you make your first improvement. Um, that for us was a goal to start off with. Then we had our first 10 users. Then we have our first 100 users, then 1,000 users. And we have a goal of 1,000 users by pretty much this time next year. We want to get a goal of 100 users by January, which
You guys
we
are
we,
you
we
guys are significantly ahead of pace on both of those goals. You might
yeah
want to adjust your goals higher.
yeah we're doing well, and credit to the work that we've done before launch, because without that it would have been an absolute uphill battle. It would have been very difficult. Very frustrating. But yeah, we want to get 100 users by January, 1,000 users by the end of this time next year. Long term, man. I mean, it's a thing like most businesses. It's a baby of yours. You want to look after it, you want to nurture it, you want to help it grow and become the best thing that it possibly can be. But we also recognize, business is business, and at the end of the day, man, like our goal is to be able to sell this thing. Like we don't know how long it's going to take. But whatever happens to it is we want it to be the best in class. We want everybody to join Zolato. We want to have a great close-knit community, um, where it almost feels like a family vibe. It's that people don't just feel like a number to us, because every sign up is a human being. And that's why I always give them a call straight away and say, hey, like, how's it going, man? It's John Kofal. I don't even speak professional.
Yeah.
I want people to resonate with us, relate to us, build a relationship with us. Um, and then we've got a big vision for this, man, and we can't do it without having the right people around us. We can build the best CR on the planet, but if nobody knows about it, there's a tree fall if you don't hear it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, a thousand users by this time next year. In terms of adding things to it, I mean, we've got a whole document. I think it's now officially 2 pages long of suggestions and bits of feedback and things we want to add on to it, which is brilliant. We're not. I think it's very easy that you could take that as like, whoa, shit, we're missing out loads of features here. This is not good. But we know what we've got is fantastic, and we look at that feedback list and think, exciting times. We got plenty of work to do. Let's get stuck in. And we know that the feedback that we've got are from very, very well established business owners. And they're in the space, they've been in the game for a long time. And these are things that other CRM don't have. So that we just ask them the question. Again, we've got a lot of good relationships we've been building. And we'll say, for example, Dave, you know, what would it take to earn your business? Like, what would encourage you to transition from, let's say, House Call Pro, spending hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands per month, just to have a CRM with a few bolt-ons and transition over to Zolato, where it's all free? Well, if you have this, this, and this, all right, literally same day, we go and build it out. So like we're always asking the question, what now? What do you need now? What's next? What can we do to earn your business? And then that's one thing. You talk about culture. Zolato is our pride and joy right now. We will bust our balls so it's the best thing on planet Earth until we have everybody speaking about it. But one thing that we never want to lose is just that human touch, and it's being able to treat every single person like a human being. It doesn't matter whether we have one client, 100 clients, 1,000 clients, or 1,000,000 clients. Like, we will personally find a way to hit you up personally. So it's creating a big culture and creating a community is huge for us. We're still kind of unclear of how that's going to look. But creating a community of other people who are in home service, and look, whether they're part of the lot or not, if they want to keep running their own thing, but they want to be part of the community, they want to share some advice and give value and help others come along, that's it. That's it right there. So, yeah.
That is there's one thing you did. I saw Justin Noggle made a post. My buddy Justin made a post and referenced you in it, and that was what prompted me to like reply to a comment that you made and say, "Hey, we should do a podcast together. Let's talk about this." And the minute, I don't even remember if we were friends or if it was when we became friends on Facebook, and you sent me like a personalized video message. It just like smacked me in the face of authenticity. Like, I thought that it's simple, but it's so authentic and it's just unique and it's cool. I'm totally stealing that from you, by the way.
No, dude,
I feel like this is not a like for like exchange. I gave you a bad sex joke about partnerships. You gave me like a good approach to build relationships. I don't think that's like fair. That's you got like you got the raw that deal. But hey,
it's been an absolute top-notch bullseye game changer. Like, me and Justin were talking about this. I think it was on the back end of last week, and towards our call, I said, "Dude, by the way, just out of curiosity, how did we even get here? Why did you even respond to me in the first place?" And he said, "That's a good question." He goes, "You know what? I think it was the video message." And I went, "Really?" And I said, "Why do you think that was the case?" And he said, "Well, and you probably get the same amount every single day. You get hit up by everybody." And he's in the same position. And he said, I get so many text written messages that honestly, John, it just blends in. And I look at it and I go, "Ugh, it's something else I need to think about. It's something else I need to respond to. It's something I need to do." And so when I sent him a video message, he even sent me, I could probably scroll up and play it, but like he sent me a voice note back saying, John, I, I I don't really know how to respond to this. A video like thank you. Like I never received these. I'm like, oh giddy, but yes, get in. Another connection, another relationship built. And I think to myself, you know what? Like we talk about our zones of geniuses in business. Where is our lane? Where do we best occupy in? And I could send a message, to yourself or Justin and say, hey Dan, hope you're well. Great to connect. If there's anything that we can do on this side, let us know. Like, I'm probably not going to have an engaging conversation with you. But if I just spend a little bit of time and kind of hyper personalize it a little bit, it takes 60 seconds out of my day. There's nothing, even if I'm having the busiest day in the world, I can spare 60 seconds or 2 minutes. So I'll pull my phone out, just like I could be sitting right here and I'd be like, big energy, the way that I am right now, very expressive, my hands and stuff, they go all over the place. And then I'll be like, hey, Dan, what's good, man? Hopefully you're keeping well. Dude, just saw you. And I'd probably go on your happy hour podcast and I'd spend time watching an episode and I would take handwritten notes of my takeaways from a certain episode. If you and I didn't connect through Justin, this is exactly what I would do. And I'd pull notes from an episode with, let's say Joe Smith or Joe Blogs, or whoever it is. And I'd say, man, I watched your episode with Joe Blogs, really, really resonated with XYZ point. I just want to say congratulations on everything you've done so far, man. And if there's anything I can do to support, like just genuinely getting my energy out there, you'll look at that and you go, fair play. Like, even if I don't message him back, fair play. That will stay in my mind. Because a few years ago, I had it was my birthday. I think it was the 23rd birthday or the 22nd birthday, a couple of years ago now. And I had a guy called Bo reach out to me, and he was a fitness coach, and I've known him for many years. And he sent me a video, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" Online, you got to be careful of these things. So I clicked on it.
Yeah.
And it was
I clicked on it just once to just give it a shot.
Yeah. It wasn't blurred or anything, but I clicked on his message, and it was he had his son in the back. I was like, "Oh, nice little family video." And he's like, "Hey, John, I'm just sending you a message here all the way from Colorado, man. Happy birthday!" And I'm just like, "Whoa, like this is actually really personal." Like, so I sent him one back. I was like, "Dude, thank you so much, like, for taking the time out, man. I really appreciate it." And it's just always stuck with me, man. So video message for anyone like public announcement, man. For anyone who is listening right now, who is trying to build relationships, send freaking video messages. Do your homework on the person and let it stand out in the video because it will make an instant difference.
There's a guy, Charlie Black, who's over in the UK as well. He's in England, and maybe I'm just a sucker for you guys' accent, and maybe I miss it from when I studied over there 20 years ago
as well.
Yeah, you guys got that going for you. But he sent me like a 3-minute video and was like, "Hey Dan, liking your content. Here's some things I like about it. I'm sending you this video so it's not just some bullshit email, and maybe you'll see it. And here's how I think I can help you." And I get 500 emails a year of people trying to do SEO on my podcast and on my YouTube channel and whatever. I hired Charlie. Like,
yeah.
He did the video thing. It was authentic. It wasn't just like, and this is an interesting wedge for you is we can tell when it's just AI, right? Without the relationship. I get so many emails that are the same structure. Hey, listen to your podcast. I like bip, 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 bip. And then this, and then if you like bip, 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 it's the same damn structure over and over again. It's not how a human writes an email. And when it's a video, I know. I mean, sure, you could have AI do your video too, but like you said, like that 60 seconds changes everything. And when it's super authentic and you can like tell it's real, your odds of getting a response and building a relationship are so much higher. And again, it goes in a world of AI, it's so cool. Like what it can do, CRMs that it can create, like the ability to help people is so massive. But you're still always going to trust the person that you have a human connection with. Like it always still comes back to the relationship.
Yeah. You buy into people first, as you know, before the product or service. You know, like their product or service can be, sure, we want it to be fantastic and world class, but you can have a lesser than product or service than somebody else. You may have like a top tier, but they could be an absolute asshole and you could be an absolute legend. It's easy who you're gonna go with, you know?
Yep.
So yeah, big lesson, man. Big thing.
Hell yeah. John, what do we miss, man? We covered a lot of ground. We covered a lot of ground here today. Anything we missed? How does somebody go check out Zolato? How do they go find you? How do they send you a personalized video message and tell you what's up?
Yeah, man. So you can find Zolato again, free CRM for home service businesses at Zolato.ai. Um, it's completely free sign up, no credit card needed. Just get in, logged in, boom, you're away. And then you also have a little prompt on the bottom left corner to schedule a free demo, where I will personally walk you through the entire thing, and I'll help you get integrated, fully set up, completely free as well. So even if I have to do 50 demos a day, every single minute spent is worth it. So and then, of course, John Rossiter on all social medias. I'm pretty much like on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Um, but yeah, man, we've definitely created something really nice here, and it's also a way for us to give back to the community, man. Like a lot of people just are really crying out for a reliable CRM. So just settle in, find a home in a CRM, and maybe this becomes our slogan: find a home in Zolato. And that's the slogan. But
I like
yeah,
it.
man,
I
it's
I
great.
do I love your guys' approach to it of feedback implementation. I feel like a lot of the bigger CRMs out there, I'll pick on House Call for a minute because I run into this with House Call all the time. Their reporting is garbage. It's been garbage. It still is garbage. I gave them that feedback 5, 6 years ago, probably pre-COVID. It still sucks. I still can't get a segmented revenue report out of it to see how much pressure washing I've done versus how much window cleaning I've done. It's like the best it can report is like by invoice. And what if I did some pressure washing at a job and some window cleaning at a job? And the amount they charge for me to be able to do that is crazy. It's crazy. So I love your guys' nimbleness to be able to implement it. What I've got one more closing question for you before I get to that. What are you excited about with the software? Like what add-ons, what things are you dreaming about? Oh, actually, I got two more questions than the closing question because I got to follow up on my previous one with like you mentioned the AI agents and like how those can integrate. What are the add-ons to the free software that will be like things we could upgrade and pay for if we wanted to add it on? And what are you super excited about of even in just the first few weeks here of launching this thing that you've seen where you're like, oh yeah, let's do this, or you feedback you got where you're like, hell yeah, we can do that. What's tripping your trigger?
So honestly, I'm most excited about the AI employees personally. Um, there's nothing like it on the market. You can get all of them for less than what you pay for House Call Pro in its own.
Give them to us again. You said there were 5. You have names for them. The last time we
Yeah,
chatted,
man.
you started like naming, and I was like, "Who's that?" And you're like, "Oh, this is my AI agent from marketing." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah. I mean, man, tell you what, um, I can do a bit of screen sharing for a couple of minutes.
yeah, yeah, fire it
I've
up."
got a nice little
I got a full beer over here. I just cracked a new beer. You
there
got
we
me.
go. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right, let me pull this up. So these guys are coming out uh, very, very, very soon, and we've had a lot of anticipation around these guys. Um, let's
Why
see
do
if
you
I
call
can.
them guys? Are there guys and girls, or when it's an AI bot, do we have to pick a gender? How does that work in the world of pronouns?
That's a great question. Um, no, man. So you get guys and girls. Let's see, entire screen. So,
What's up?
cool. So basically, if I go onto my personal Facebook here, real quick, we've given these guys like voices, looks. We've given them a lot of good stuff. So this is the team. So on the left hand side, you've got Dex, who's in charge of your sales, Jody, who's in operations, Nico in the middle, who's your finance guy,
Nico
Sage,
looks like
who's
a finance guy. He's a nerd.
yeah,
The dude on the right, definitely not your finance guy.
definitely not your finance guy. Um, yeah, he used to be a pro skateboarder. Just kidding. Um, and then
Oh,
you've got Sage, who's like your business advisor. She's kind of like overseeing or everything that's happening. Um, and I'll go into more detail with these guys. But then you've also got Remy, who's the last one, um, who is like your chief of marketing. So
that's
to a
that
little bit
that
more
that
specific,
dude looks like the chief of marketing. You nailed that. You nailed that, dude.
we definitely did, man. So like I think everybody suits their thing. Um, I mean, so we got Jody here who like works out your scheduling conflicts, overdue jobs, reschedules jobs, reassigns to different crews, cancel jobs, create new jobs, create customers. Nico, the finance guy, uninvoiced completed jobs, overdue invoices. Like he handles everything invoices. He'll track what's coming in and out of your business to the dime. He'll like remember your financial preferences, patterns, and this is the thing amongst all the AI employees is that they're actually built for your specific business. They're not like a general attachment to home service. Yes, they're in home service, but they are specifically programmed to learn your business inside and out, probably better than us and even yourself.
That's wild.
So,
That's cool.
Dex is your sales guy. So, if you've got a lead, and I think I said this to you on our first original chat, is a lot of businesses out there, they hyperfixate around new leads, new customers. Well, what Dex can do is he'll go back like 6 months, and if Judy Smith has not been active for 6 months, but she originally raised her hand for something, Dex will go back into Judy Smith's profile and find a way to re-engage Judy Smith to ultimately book an estimate or whatever it is for you, right? So you can go ahead and do a job for her. She's there for a reason. So we'll bring it all back to life.
Can the
Um,
AI agents actually reach out to people? Like, will it email, text, or like what can it do?
yeah, it can do all of the above. So
Sweet.
yeah, so it'll log your follow-ups. It'll manage your pipeline for you. So I'll show you that in just a second. It'll handle any objections they throw at you as well. So if someone says to you, well, it's too much, for example, or I don't want to spend past X amount, it'll overcome that for you. And it's not in a way, it's kind of like a conversation you and I are having. It's not like a robotic um, conversation, it's a human conversational conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so you've got that Remy, who does like missing route review requests, builds marketing plans, campaign strategies, marketing dashboards, creates tasks for owner follow-up calls with past customers. This is a big thing for us. Is it remembers your brand voice and marketing preferences. So that's a big piece or a big pillar for us because a lot of stuff can branch off that amongst all of them. So your brand is super important to us. Um, Sage can help you with hiring, firing, pricing, expansion, operations, strategies, like the whole lot. And then finally, just on this, is that you can pull your phone up and you can actually speak to these guys directly as well. So, like for example, if you said, "Hey, Jody, I'm just away on the job right now. I can't get to it." But Sarah Smith has just told me that she wanted to reschedule her soft wash for next Tuesday at 10 a.m. instead of today at 4 p.m. Can you move that for me, please? She's like, "Hey, no problem. I'll move that for you." Like instant.
That's funny because you
But
could do that right in front of a customer, and the customer would just be like, "Oh, it's calling this off."
literally, literally. But again, for example, if you said the same thing to Remy would come in and say, "Hey, John, this is not my department. Let me transfer you over to Jody. He will handle this for you." So it will speak. They'll
Yeah,
speak to
it'll
one
know.
another.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. That's obviously super impressive and very important. Um, and then obviously the thing itself. So this is like our like my little personal demo account. But I mean, you've got all the standard stuff there, right? So you've got your dashboards. You can manage your schedule, your jobs, your customers, your leads, estimates. Like we've done a lot of work on estimates recently. It looks genuinely brilliant. Invoices, money, price book. So one of the big questions that we had when first building out Zolato was like, John, I don't know how much I should be charging for X job. Well, we've went in and suggested specific price points for you to at least give you a baseline. So as you can see here, like if you
Oh,
didn't
that's
know
sweet.
what
Just to even like get you started.
get you started, exactly. I mean, you can always come in, right? And you can always like bump it up, bring it down. You can play around with it. It'll log your material cost and all sorts. But um, and then obviously it'll work out a final a total plus your expenditures, your discounts, anything else you want to add there as well.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and then yeah, man. So just on the bottom left, you can just click on free demo. It'll open up my personal schedule, so you can jump in. Obviously, it's late at night here, so there's nothing available today, but tomorrow onwards, of course. But yeah, dude, like it's genuinely amazing. And then anything that you want to suggest, you can have an option here, bottom left, idea or feature request, something's broken, I've got a question or other, and then that'll go straight through to our inboxes. And if we receive one of these, I can promise you in all the world, this will shoot, it doesn't matter what we're doing, this will shoot straight to the top of our priority list. So we win if our customers win. And so, you know, we wouldn't have Zolato if we didn't have customers. So
One thing you noted earlier, and I have found other CRMs to struggle with, is the difference between a recurring service business versus a one-time service business. So many
yeah,
CRMs will be good for carpet cleaners or HVAC or whatever, but they can't handle pest control or maid service or lawn care.
yeah.
Are you guys able to pretty seamlessly handle recurring jobs versus one-time jobs?
Yeah, super easy. Yeah, it's all built in.
Sweet. What's the cost structure? Obviously, it's free as the base. What are the AI agents? I believe are an add-on. Are there other add-ons that you can do?
Yeah. So
Well,
right now,
maybe a sub question to that before you answer is it all AI agents, or can you like a la carte your AI agents and be like, I want Jody and I want Dex, but I don't want the other ones. Like, can you cherry pick them, or is it here's all five and this is the way to do it?
yeah, that's a good question. Interesting as well. That so they all come together as like a power team, um, and then we've got right now three tiers that we're thinking about. So tier one. And you still, for every tier, you still have every employee. So we're not going to be taking away certain things because they kind of all need each other. They all speak to
Yeah.
each other. They all work for each other, right? So we got tier one that's starting out at just $99 a month, and then tier three. So you got tier three is where you get absolutely everything that we've ever built inside of Zolato, and that's going to be just $299 a month. So like to have your business with a free CRM that's fully functional, that runs your business inside and out 24/7, 365, 7 days a week on autopilot pretty much for less than $300 a month. So that's what we have right now for AI folk. But we also have two additional bolt-ons as well. So if you want to, and we tried everything to try and get this thing for free. It just can't happen. Like we'd be paying out of our own pocket
So
to do
say,
this.
yeah, when you're paying money, you got to pass the cost on to the customer. Otherwise, that's a bad business model.
Bad business model, yeah. But so we've tried to keep it as genuinely like accessible as possible. And those are the text and call features.
Yeah,
So
with Twilio, yeah,
yeah,
makes sense.
right. So that's less than $80 a month. So again, we're talking under $500. You can have the best fully kitted out CRM on planet Earth right now. So and another cool thing is you get direct co-founder access as well. So like, I've given people my personal cell number. Like it doesn't matter whether I'm in office, out office. If you call me at 2 o'clock in the morning saying, John, I need this because I've got an important job tomorrow, dude, I'm getting up, I'm opening my laptop, we're on it straight away. So like when we start to scale out, we've got 1,000 customers, that might be a little bit dangerous, but for right now, like we're good, so they get direct access to us.
I do the same thing now. Like people get free CFO time with me, but we have 300 clients, and I'm starting to put in tiers where it's like, okay, if you're on this tier, you get my I call it my bartending hours. Be normal like office hours, but it's best day in bookkeeping with the beer mug and logo. It's bartending. And then there's like different costs to pay for time unless you're the top shelf. We have our 3 tiers: rail, mid shelf, top shelf, because it's always in a bar. And so if you're top shelf, you get free time. That's free access, like 2 a.m. What do you got? But as you go down the tiers, less access. So we're working on that now as we've like gotten enough clients where it starts to be a pain in the butt. And you got to keep time open on the schedule, like otherwise nobody can schedule time. So that's my week this week is every day, 7 or 8 o'clock to 4 to 5 o'clock, nonstop, no breaks.
Yeah.
Well, an hour and a half break in the middle of every day to exercise. I like to work out midday. That's
so important.
I block it off. You can't. I'll like for my top shelf clients, I will allow them to book a meeting there, but otherwise you couldn't pay me enough to skip my workout in the middle of the day.
Yeah, it's again, it goes back to the thing, man. Your business is only as good as you operate. So if your gym starts to fall down, your nutrition starts to fall down, dangerous territory there, man.
It is.
You had another question, I think, as well, right?
I got a closer for you. I got a closer, which the world's your oyster here. You're not even 30 yet, John. You can do whatever the hell you want. You got enough time to screw things up so many times and still have some fun with it. But let's say you wake up tomorrow and home services don't even exist. Poof. Who knows? Just industry's gone. But you got to go and do something. And so like your CRM isn't useful. Your home service business is gone, but you got to go do something tomorrow that you would love to do for the rest of your life and hopefully makes you a buck or two. What would you go do tomorrow?
If we still had our Zolato.
No, the world's gone. The world, as you know it, is gone. You wake up tomorrow, it's almost like you're on a different fucking planet. It's like, holy shit, where'd all my stuff go? All right, well, I got to go figure out how to help some people and make some money.
Oh, man, that's a good question.
That's why it's a closer. It's just fun.
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Now you can go wherever you want. We're at the bar. You can go wherever you want with this one. Hobbies. You can go anywhere in the world.
So my first passion has always been music. I'm unbelievably good on the DJ decks, like extremely damn good. I mean, I've liked the things for up to 7 years. I've got a lot of connections, a lot of big relationships in that space as well. People who travel the world do 60,000 plus crowds, like they're in my Instagram DMs, and that that is a brag, right? I don't give a shit. But again, that's taken
non-humble brag.
Yeah, 100%, man. And again, that's taken years of support and nurturing and stuff, right? It's not like it's something that happens overnight.
Do you have a DJ name? You got a DJ name?
I do, yes. Perceptive. So, which is kind of, it resonates personally because it's, I always say that perception is, it's kind of a case of like how you see life is how it usually is. Um, so perceptive is about a specific outlook on life that basically creates a lot of positivity and helps you work through things. So
Yeah.
perceptive kind of works for me and who I am. Man, there's a lot of options. I mean, I think it'd be pretty foolish to not stick in business because that's what I'm good at. But if I was talking passions, hobbies, I'd certainly go down the music route. But I think also something that's been kind of
There's a lot of businesses in music. There's a lot of
there
business in
is
music.
there is certainly absolutely, especially the highest level, man. And I think from a sentiment because I'm a very deep layered person, and I've definitely had massive, colossal challenges in my life, especially when I was in school. And that has only made me a stronger, bigger, better person. And it's turned me, for a lot of people in my life, it's turned me into a rock for other people. Um, and I'd like to be able to create a deep, meaningful, widespread, positive impact on people's lives as well, like mentally, spiritually, emotionally. I'm a big fan of Ed Milet. He's a massive inspiration for me. So, doing something on that sort of level would be amazing as well. I mean, as you said, man, the world's the oyster. It is now, and it would be then. So, yeah, that's it, really, man. Uh, Immediate would probably be music, business, and then something where I can positively impact people in a direct way.
I mean,
The,
music
the,
can touch a lot of people and get a lot of people going, like that's powerful stuff. That's why it's as like good as it is and as prevalent as it is. Makes you feel
yeah.
shit. It's cool.
I mean, we just literally 2 days ago came back from seeing Lewis Capaldi in Liverpool, and it was just like a proper sucker punch to the heartstrings. It was a
Yeah,
good time.
you feel it.
But yeah, music's a language that everybody speaks, and they feel it,
Yep.
and it takes you back to certain memories and certain points in your life, whether it's good or bad or everything else in between. And so, I think if you can draw an emotion from someone, you can create an affinity with someone. And so, you know, that's a big thing.
Hell yeah, dude.
Good question, man. That made me think a
Oh,
lot, actually.
we gotta save it till the end. That's why it's the closer. It's the closer. And you never know where it's gonna go, which is also
Yeah,
fun. Part of the
yeah.
fun. Well, we're 2+ hours in. Go figure. Told you this would happen. I warned you.
No, it's all good.
What anything you want to leave with the folks? Any like places they should hit you up? Closing comments.
Yeah, just drop us a follow on Facebook. And whether you're interested in Zolato or not, I'm very open about me personally. You can connect with me on many different levels. I share a lot of wisdom, a lot of good stuff. Um, Facebook's my platform. We also run a group as well, currently as it stands, Blue Collar Pros, AI and Automation. So anything you guys want to learn about AI, that's the place to be as well. But yeah, just that's really it, man. And just work hard and have fun. Work hard, play hard.
Hey, you're almost taking my closing comments from me. You guys, I threw Zolato Zolato.ai in the comments on the Facebook feed to this and the Best Damn Bookkeeping page. It's in the Home Service Happy Hour YouTube channel. Or I just read it to you. Zolato.ai. Go check it out, man. It's fucking free. Go check it out. Get your ass out there. Go check it out. Support my guy John here. John, you're always welcome back because you guys like it's software, dude. You guys are gonna keep coming up with cool shit, adding stuff on, solving the world's problems. Like this is a microphone for you guys too. So if you got something cool and you want to jump on, let me know. You're always welcome. Home service homies, you guys know what to do. Work smarter and harder. Go earn some pride. We got 3 more shows this week. I got tomorrow night, and then I got 2 on Wednesday. So We'll see you over the next couple days. Don't be a stranger. Peace out.